Hi, welcome to my train room. I'm Rainer. Just a quick update video on this building, the construction of this building. My previous video, which was probably 3 weeks ago, I was covering the first stages of this building, of painting it, how I painted the brick. If you haven't seen that, go have a look at it. I'll put a link up here. I haven't had a lot of time to work on it in the last couple of weeks because my daughter and my son-in-law bought a house and I was helping them with moving, took a couple of loads with my truck and my trailer up to their new house, which is a 6.5, 7 hour drive from here. And then I also was helping them with some renovations there. So between that and having to work in my times when I did get home, I haven't had much time to be down here to get any work done on the trains, let alone even see them. So, but in the last few days, I did get back to working on this building, and mainly what I started working on was the details on this building. And so far, I'm really liking it. I like the construction of the first part of it, but there's a lot of interesting little rooftop details and other details that come with these KIBRI kits. At least this one, it's the first KIBRI kit I've ever built. So far, I'm liking it, and progressing from where I left off in the last video. I had all the walls up, put together, but the roof wasn't on yet. So it doesn't come with any interior detail, so I just kind of went in the garage and cobbled together some bits and pieces and kind of painted them just so that there's some stuff inside. So if I turn the lights on, because I put some lights inside, if I turn the lights on, it looks like there's something inside rather than an empty building. It doesn't really represent anything. It's just random bits and parts that I glued together and painted to make it look like there's machinery inside. Reality, you're not going to be able to see a whole lot through the windows because they're fairly small windows. Where it's going to be on the layout, you're really only going to have a clear view of this side. The other side you're going to be looking at from an angle. So you're not really going to be able to see a lot inside. But that's okay. I still just wanted it to look like it's not an empty building. From beyond that, I started working on the roof. And so the first thing on the roof was to actually put the roof itself, the flat roof in, glue that in place, and then put all these little brick insides to these little columns on there. And that kind of holds the roof in place so it can't really move after that. And then putting on all these top pieces. Now, I realized when I painted all of my window frames green, I had missed those parts and I wanted them to be the matching green. So then I had to stop, take those outside, spray paint them, let them dry, and put them on. But it comes with a whole selection of little chimneys, vents, smokestacks, some piping along here. There's a little hatch that goes on here. So the roof detail is kind of cool. This little, everything else is glued on. This little ventilation house, whatever it is not glued on, but doesn't need to be. It sits there in a little pocket in the roof. From there, I went to working on the outside. So on this side is this awning with some supports, and there's a little ventilation fan that goes into a little indent in the wall. So in my first video, I talked about making sure you get these little pieces because they can kind of fit anywhere. Make sure you get them in the right location. In this case, it's for the fan, little platform around it. Got that in place. On this side, there was another little awning, and it's got some racks that you can, in the pictures, they show them hanging some materials, whether it's pipes or rods or ladders or something like that. So I glued all those in place. And then on the other side of the building, you'll see it in here. There's this couple of tanks. I don't know if they're supposed to be air tanks or what they are, but it comes with these little tanks, a little platform. Looks like another smaller tank with some control valves on them. There's some piping that all goes in. There's a little panel that goes in to block one of the window panes of glass to show that they kind of put the piping in after they built the building. So it's kind of cool little details. All fits together quite well. And then on the other end, it has another smokestack or ventilation pipe or whatever it is. And it also has a fire escape ladder that goes on there. So that was a little bit fragile and fiddly to put together, but not too bad. Anyway, this part of the building is now pretty much complete. There's a few things that I did a little bit differently than the instructions. So it had these extra little window ledges that were supposed to be glued on every window. And although I did paint them in the first batch when I painted the window frames, I have them painted green. I kind of decided that I wanted to leave it the kind of simpler look without the big green window ledges all over the place. I think it kind of suits my factory idea better. So I think it looks good the way it is, and I think I'm going to leave it like that. So the next parts I need to build on here are this tower that comes on the side here. I've got the panels for it already painted when I did the other walls, so that's these guys up here. And then there's also this other tower on this side that connects. So this part right here would go, let's spin this around. So this tower right here goes in front of these windows, and that tower goes in over here. So like I said earlier, you've got a loading dock that's going to be down here with a door. There's stuff in here. There's this other tower in front of these windows. So you're not really going to be able to see in through the windows a whole lot. So the interior detail was not a really huge factor for me. So anyway, that's kind of the status, just a quick update of what I've done on this building, just to show that I've got a little bit more done. It's got a lot more detail on it. And I'm liking how it's looking. And the next part I'm going to start working on is this tower that goes over here. And then hopefully I can figure out exactly where it fits up here, because I think it's going to go in this part of my layout right here. And I may need to move some tracks around. I do have a couple of other structures that I have picked up over the last few weeks. One is another KIBRI building, another KIBRI industrial building, and I have a couple of Walters kits. I think I'm going to use one of those as well and kind of use all three buildings in conjunction with each other to create my paper mill scene. So we'll see how that works. I'll post videos of those other buildings as well once I start building them. So hopefully I'll be able to get back to this soon and get this tower built, because I've got to be working again this weekend, and then I've got to take another trip up to my daughter's place, which is going to take up 2 full days. So once I get back, I'm hoping to get going on some more of this and get some more video together and show you a little bit more of what I'm doing here. Thanks for watching, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and see you next time.